He joined the Air Force right after he got out of high school. Okay. So he did 4 years active duty right out. And he's in a unit called the Ravens, and they do missions all over the world. So he would do flyaway security. We were trying to prevent children. And then a couple months later, I found out we were pregnant with my oldest. So, and 2 months, when he was 2 months old, he left on his first deployment. So we were married a year before his first deployment. And they said, your baby has a heart defect. He's going to die. They basically told us flat, your baby's gonna die. And they gave this awful prognosis of when your baby dies, we need to do a DNC. And it was just really, really, really poorly delivered news. Yeah, birth mom chose you and her water just broke 6 weeks early. What?
Oh my gosh.
Welcome to our Best for Your Nest podcast, where we interview community leaders, people who impact other people and make a difference. And today we are having Gina Schmidt with us, and she's going to share about her children and jobs and being a military, do we say Army wife?
Well, he's Air Force, so Air Force wife.
Air Force wife,
yeah.
And all the other fun things. And I don't think we've ever met or had anybody with that type of an experience. So it's going to be really fun. Hi, welcome, Gina.
Hello, and thanks for having me.
So take us back maybe to how you met your husband, because I want to ask you that question, but you're going to tell me you're not an athlete. And I think you actually are.
Former athlete, maybe? Let's call it that. So I started working out, and he was working out also. And we had a mutual friend that does the spray tanning for the competition when you get real orange. Uh-huh. And he had a big Escalade. And so he offered to drive everyone to the competition. And that's how we met. So, because it was a mutual friend that we both had. And we were all 4 in this competition together. And so we met up at someone's house, got another coat of spray tan, and went to the competition. Yeah.
How old were you when you guys met?
23.
I like this guy with the Escalade.
Right. That was my vehicle when we first had kids. We swapped, and so I got to drive the Escalade. Yeah,
that is pretty cool.
What it was all for.
It was a nice vehicle.
So how long does it take to look a certain way to be able to go on stage and get spray tanned and actually look like? Because I've seen the picture. You look pretty good.
Definitely depends on where you started. But I think for both of us, it was a solid 6 months of working out, eating.
Okay.
The water depletion, that's the whole thing, but yeah.
Okay, that's crazy.
What got you into that? How did you?
Yeah, so our journeys were definitely different. He was just oh, this sounds fun, I'm gonna do this. I think for men, that's probably more.
Yeah.
For me, I actually went through an eating disorder, which was a very negative thing. Yeah. And this was a way for me to control my food, which again, wasn't a positive way to start this.
For sure.
So I went through it kind of just to control everything. But I think through that, and actually eventually after having kids, I was oh, my body is meant for way different things. So,
amazing. Yeah.
Having kids helped, heal that body image disorder for me.
Yeah.
But the competition actually was not a great, way of doing it. But I think also through it, I did learn oh, my body can do so many more things than just look a certain way. So,
exactly.
Yeah. And it's a lot of measuring your weight, being told what to eat, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I would assume that that's kind of in that community. It's probably a prevalent thing, even eating disorders, or just in general, body image.
Yeah, I don't think people talk about it, but yeah.
I would assume that it has some long-term effects, especially for women in that.
Yeah. The friend that we had, the mutual friend, actually, she had gotten in a car accident and gained a bunch of weight. And she did the competition to show I lost all this weight. So hers was a really positive experience too. So it was different, things that all brought us there.
Yeah. So that's kind of interesting how that can happen. And was your husband in the Air Force when he was doing this, or was it after, or then did he go after?
Not when we met. So he's 5 years older than me. He joined the Air Force right after he got out of high school. Okay. So he did 4 years active duty right out. And he's in a unit called the Ravens, and they do missions all over the world. So he would do flyaway security. So whether it was packages or people on an airplane, he would secure the packages or people. So he would be on the airplane in a team of 3, rotating 24 hours.
Wow.
So they would fly, do whatever, drop the mission, and then fly back. So he's been to like, I don't even know, like 60 countries or something. He's been to like a lot of places in that 4 years. And he got out. And this is really weird. We had a college course together when I was still in high school. So again, he's 5 years older. And didn't know each other, didn't meet each other or anything. I just remember I was taking cosmetology classes and had to do a communications class. And he was just doing generals after the military. And his best friend was in the class also. And then, 5 years later when we actually met, his friend's like, she looks super familiar. And put it all together. We're like, oh, we were in a class together. I just remember the guy on the crotch rocket. If we would have met then, never would have. Yes,
he got better. He got better with his escalade.
Yes.
Like, this is really
a little
nice.
more responsible.
Yeah.
That is so awesome. So how long between your marriage, your wedding, and the first deployment?
Yeah. So, so we met, I was 23. We got married at 26. So 3 years later. We knew that he was getting deployed in, what would that have been, 28? No.
You were 28 years
Yeah,
old?
whatever. So we got married in 2014, and we knew that he was getting deployed the year after. So we were trying to prevent children. And then a couple months later, I found out we were pregnant with my oldest. So I had my oldest, and 2 months, when he was 2 months old, he left on his first deployment. So we were married a year before his first deployment.
And so, what country did he go to, and how long was he gone?
In Kuwait, and he was gone for just about 7 months. So Deacon was 2 months old when he left, 9 months old when he came back.
Crazy.
It was
newly married too, like so you're navigating the first year.
It was a lot.
Child.
So we got a house, had the wedding, got a dog, found out we were pregnant. He lost his job.
Oh my goodness.
Within like a couple months. It was
so he was working while he was
working.
in the,
Yep. Because he then was reserve. So he joined the reserves when the year that we met and started dating.
So did you not think that there was a chance or like was it kind of like it's not generally common for them to deploy, or was it
intended of this, but he was like, oh yeah, the reserves don't deploy that much, but the reality is they actually deploy like every 4 years. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So there is actually
he might not have known really the full context of it, but yeah.
And are you from here, and did you have like family helping you with that first year when he was gone, and like how was that just being?
Yeah. So I worked at Lifetime Fitness. I was a personal trainer, the fitness stuff. And so I went back to work when he was like 4 months old. I took a little bit longer leave. Yeah. About part-time. So we had a nanny, I think 1 or 2 days a week. And then my dad actually nannied my son 1 day a week, which was really so cool. So yeah.
Have you at any point felt like, is this an unsafe deployment, or was it always just the tough part of it that you just don't have your spouse and you have a newborn baby?
The Kuwait deployment was like one of like the safer ones. I mean, he also had kind of like a desk job. He was in the armory. So like the guns, when they come in, he's military police. So it was kind of like a desk job. So he wasn't like necessarily out in the field, which isn't like, he would be like, oh, it's boring. But on the home end, we're like, this is great. Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, that one was like not bad. They had like a mall. So he was able to go get like a chip for his phone and like call and FaceTime. So that was really nice. Like we had an iPad, and
so you were able to communicate on the regular.
Yeah. Like Deacon's first time crawling. It's like kind of sad, but like kind of sweet. It was like crawling to the iPad to dad, It's
And what was that transition like when he came back? He was like 2 months, and then 9 months later, like it's like a whole different baby.
Yeah, very different baby.
How did he react, and how was that for you?
I think because of the technology, it was like a little bit easier in a way, because like he heard his voice, like he saw him obviously not in 3D, but like saw his face, so it wasn't like a new person. So it wasn't too bad, and he still didn't have a full-time job when he came back, so that was like he was able to reintegrate and be home quite a bit. I think he got another job like a couple months after he came back, and so
like almost have a little bit of like paternity leave, kind of, but like later.
Yeah, and then like 6 weeks later, we were pregnant with our second again. Okay. Like, okay, we'll just dive right into
another change, another new.
Yes.
What do you think that time in your life did to you as a person, did to your character? Maybe who you are today and how you show up for other people?
Yeah. I mean, doing everything on my own was a lot. And I'm still learning that actually the deployments have like left some scars on me from my own like attachment stuff as a child. I'm trying to learn more about like, oh, this is me and this is my past and this is, you know, it's not like the truth of the situation. It's like he's not leaving me again. But like I still struggle often when he leaves, like even for work trips, like even for a day or two. It's just like, oh, this is hard because now the feeling that I have is like I have to do everything. And that's not necessarily the reality, but it's been a struggle of like the back and forth. And he has drill once a month. So he goes away for 2 full days. I mean, he's home for like dinner. But it's like a 6 to 6 job.
Really?
Once a month for 2 days, sometimes 4 days.
Okay.
So it's like I'm kind of like the back and forth of that is happening so often that
So those longer trips probably trigger now even shorter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I feel like I could.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could totally understand that. And it's not even attachment style. It's just when you are in
the reality.
Vulnerable situation of a newborn baby, I feel like there is no way to make it. I mean, obviously your husband is making money and he's providing for the family and this is the way he's doing it right now. But it's, I don't know how many times you can say that to yourself to like get a better response. Like I could kind of, I mean, I can't relate to 7 months gone.
Yeah.
But sometimes like, you know, like our husbands work like 13, 14-hour days. So then you're like, oh, what do I have left? Something on the very end of the day when you're like super tired or like the early morning, you know? So that, that is a tough one. So he's more often at home right now. Is that, how does that transition, maybe it doesn't feel like transition anymore. Maybe it feels more like a normalcy for you.
Yes.
Do you guys split responsibilities? Do you just step in whatever needs to be done?
Trying to still figure that out because he's been home for just over 3 years. He came back October 23. No, since
he
he
had a
was like
second
3 years.
deployment.
Yep, he had a second deployment when we had 3 kids. Which was way worse than the past. One baby versus 3 humans that are all walking. A little harder. But so it's only been, is it either 22 or 23? I can't remember.
It's been 23 or 24 even. No, it wasn't 24?
It's either been 2 or 3 years.
I feel like we met that year.
Yes, we met the year that he was gone.
You have 2 sons and a daughter. And I'll set the stage for, there are some health issues, but then also there was a choice of adoption and adopting somebody who doesn't look like you guys and just doing it out of state and all these things. How did you, I mean, it just seems to me like God prepared you from the beginning of like being somewhat alone and early on parenting by yourself, but then kind of stepping into like a way more complicated scenarios and just owning it and being brave and just share with me, how was it to have a second baby and finding out the news and the diagnosis and what did that do to your marriage and how did you guys tackle it together?
So, I mean, I'll just walk through kind of all 3 of them. Deacon, our oldest, like was a surprise, right? We were not planning on having kids, had him. And it was such a blessing. Like if I would have been like truly alone for his whole deployment, I think it would have been even harder. So it's like, even though raising a child by myself was very hard, I also had someone there with me, right? So, so then he got home. We got pregnant super quickly after he got back from his first deployment. And we had his like 20-week ultrasound because we wanted to know the gender. We were going to do like this gender reveal. And the ultrasound tech was like, oh, we need you to go downtown. We didn't get a really good picture of his heart. And we're like, we literally thought nothing of it. We're like, oh, okay, cool. So we brought Deacon with us at this point. He was like, I don't know, he must have been a year-ish.
Something.
So we brought him with, we're downtown, and the ultrasound took like an hour. It was like a really, really long, and we're like, is this really weird? Why is this taking so long? But still like really not thinking anything of it. We're just like, I don't know, they need better pictures. And afterwards they sat us down in a room and they basically said like, so he has this heart defect. Well, I can't remember if we knew the gender. I don't think we knew his gender yet because we were like doing the gender reveal that weekend. So this was like all within the same week. And they said, your baby has a heart defect. He's going to die. They basically told us like flat, like your baby's gonna die. And they gave like this awful prognosis of like, well, you know, when your baby dies, we need to do a DNC. And like, it was just like really, really, really poorly delivered news. And they offered some genetic testing at that point, and we're like, we do not care about anything genetic wise. We just want our baby to live. Like we were just like so focused on that. We had a bunch of people cover us in prayer, and that was really healing. So then a couple days later, we had the gender reveal. I found out that he was a boy, and I was kind of relieved, because I'm like, I feel like men, you know, strong and strength, and we ended up picking out his name after learning all of these things. And his name, Gunnar, means bold warrior, because we're like, we're going to give him a strong name. He's going to get through this. And it was, So found out he was a boy. And then I had to go in weekly for ultrasounds just to monitor him, the fluids, because they diagnosed him prenatally with, it's called Ebstein's anomaly of the tricuspid valve. It's a heart defect where the valves aren't working. A lot of blood was flowing. So instead of like going to the right atrium to the left, it was flowing backwards, and his heart was enlarged. Like we could see it with an untrained eye on the ultrasound. We were like, oh no, that doesn't look right. So within those 6 weeks, we're like, you know, we don't care about genetics, but maybe it would be nice to know so we could like prepare if there was something different that we didn't have knowledge about. So we did just the like blood work, like the non-invasive testing of genetic differences, and it came back. It was kind of like this weird back and forth of like, does he have Down syndrome? Does he not have Down syndrome? It was like this back and forth for a few weeks. And then eventually one geneticist was like, it's 99% chance that he has Down syndrome. And I was like, thank you. I just needed to know that. And I remember they called me, because I think I had just left a maternal fetal medicine appointment, and they called and said the results. And I tried calling Brian, and he didn't answer. I don't know if he was in a meeting or whatever. And I called my best friend, and I just remember telling her, he has Down syndrome, and it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. Like I kept reminding myself, like, I know this isn't bad, because I think that's the hard thing, is when you get unexpected news, it's people are, then you receive an I'm sorry. And it's like, this isn't a bad thing. It's just different. It's unexpected. I do a lot of work with Jack's Basket, and I get to deliver these baskets to expecting moms or these brand new babies with Down syndrome. And that's their biggest thing, is unexpected. And that's any diagnosis. That's literally anything.
Or anything they see on the ultrasound that you, as not a medical person, have no clue about.
Or even when your kid is 2 years old and you get an autism diagnosis, right? Like it's unexpected. It doesn't mean it's bad. And just like learning more and more about whatever that is, the more knowledge you have, the more you can accept it. So,
how was your labor with him?
So quick.
I think that's what happens, because they have
looser muscles, low muscle tone. Most kids with Down syndrome are gonna have what's called hypotonia, low muscle tone.
Okay.
So my oldest Deacon was emergency C-section, and because of Gunnar's heart defect, I was like, let's just do another C-section, get him out safe. Like I'm not gonna put him in an unsafe situation, right? So we had that scheduled on a Tuesday. Sunday, it was either Saturday or Sunday night. Went into labor in like the middle of the night. It was like midnight, 1 a.m. We got the neighbor, gave her the monitor for Deacon. And I was like, okay, we're just going to go in and like check everything out, whatever. And so we get there at like 1 a.m. and I was already at like a 7. I was hardly in any pain. I mean, like, I could feel the contractions, but nothing like my first.
As a first vaginal delivery, this is really unusual numbers.
And so the other thing, Deacon, I tried pushing, and he was stuck because he was sunny side up. So like I went through double labor with him. It was like awful. So bad. I was like, I'm not doing that again. No. But so he was face down. Heart rate looked great. I was progressing super fast, and I was like, let's try VBAC. That sounds awesome. I would love to not go through another C-section.
And the recovery and
so bad. So we went over to labor and delivery. I really wanted an epidural because I had that with my first.
Oh, sure.
And by the time I had I was like signing the epidural form, and he like slid out. So an unplanned, unmedicated VBAC.
Oh, wow.
Which I'm so thankful for.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So
it was really great.
How far apart are the boys?
They're just under 19 months. So like 18 and a half months.
Okay.
Yeah. So a year and a half.
And are they pretty close?
They're close.
Well, they're older now. Like how old are they?
They're 11 and 9 now.
Okay.
Yeah. My oldest just turned 11. So my oldest is very firstborn, responsible, like all of that kind of stuff. and also very impulsive.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
The line.
Boy.
Yes, very boy, very
11 years old.
But he's like super, super responsible with Gunner. Like if
Okay.
we need
Yeah. His little
help
protector.
or
Yeah.
it's really sweet.
Oh, that is sweet.
Yeah.
And how has it been? Like, we had one guest that she said something about like not apologizing for her kids because there is no need. Like the world will have to, figure us out, just like we are figuring out the world.
Yeah.
So part of me, sometimes I catch myself like kind of making a weird joke, or when I think Gigi's doing something maybe she shouldn't be doing in public or at a restaurant, or so I'm thinking, do you ever find yourself in a situation where you have to explain kind of like your family to the outside world in a way, or
Not really.
or is that something that just doesn't? You know what I'm asking?
I think Gunner's super impulsive too, another boy. So like if he does something like inappropriate, like he'll like randomly smack people's butts and I'm like, sorry. But just for being him, absolutely not. No. Because I think people need to realize like we're all so different. And we're all gonna have different quirks and needs and all these things.
That's
so
awesome.
it's just like he's just him. So
And how old is your daughter?
5.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 5, 9, and 11. And how did you make that decision that you wanted to adopt?
Yeah. So when Gunner was like less than a year old, just the statistics of kids with Down syndrome making it to birth are really staggering. And we're like, nope, we want to change that. We want to give a kid life if we can. So we started looking at adopting only kids with Down syndrome.
Oh, okay.
And that's how our journey started. There's an organization called the National Down Syndrome Adoption Network, and they match prospective families that want a kid with Down syndrome with families that are hoping to place their child with Down syndrome for adoption.
Okay.
And so we worked with them, did our home study. So that must have been in 2019. And got that all ready. I think we were home study ready by like April of 2020, actually. It was.
Oh.
No, was it 19? Because it was the end of 19.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not
Right
quite.
before COVID.
No, it was 2020. I don't remember.
Not quite.
I'm pretty sure it was
COVID
2020.
yet.
Yeah,
No,
we
it
like to
definitely
find that
wasn't.
time
I
of
know.
life. We're like, I know what I was doing in 2020. Nothing.
Yeah, no, it was 2020. It was like April of 2020. Because then we started seeing kids online. They have like an online network of like 3 and 4 and 5 years old that needed adopting in the US. Because we also looked at international.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, there's actually kids that are not babies that need adopting, like need families. So we presented our profile to, I think, 2 different boys in the US that needed homes that had Down syndrome.
Okay.
Obviously weren't chosen for either of them. And we just started thinking, we're like, we could like do that down the road. Like if there's kids that still need homes in the future, like that'll probably still be a thing. But we also wanted to keep Deacon up as the oldest. So he was 4 at that point. So we were looking at like 4 and under. And these kids were like, I think 3 and 4. And we're like, well, maybe we still want a baby. My husband was like, I really want a girl.
Yeah.
And so we opened up our search to kids with and without Down syndrome, and specifically girls too. We were like, that would be nice to add to our family. And so within like 2 months, we got Layla's birth family.
Wow.
They call it a situation. They sent you an email. Here's the situation. Here's all the facts that they know. And it was like super, super quick. And we were chosen. So on a Tuesday, we got the email of like, here's the situation. Here's all the information that they know. Here's the due date, which was in 6 weeks. And then,
this was really coming up.
Yeah.
So at that point, were you still able to opt out if you found something?
Yeah. So, I mean, we read all the information that they gave us, had the due date, and so we said, yes, we would like our profile shown on Thursday. So 2 days later. And then usually it's like you wait the weekend and they look at all these profiles and then they choose. We got a call on Friday afternoon. Brian he was working from home. I was upstairs. We both had a missed call from the same phone number from the agency. And I was like, I think we need to call them back right now. So I called them back on speaker. And they're like, yep, birth mom chose you and her water just broke 6 weeks early. We're like, what?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
It was insane.
This is really happening.
So that was Friday night at like 4:00. And we're like, and they're like, do you want to proceed? And we're like, can we take like a minute?
Yeah.
So we like, stopped and prayed. And we're like, yeah, we felt like this is our daughter. So we said yes. So within that weekend, we had to figure out childcare for the boys, flights out to Pennsylvania was where she was born.
In Minnesota.
Yep. And everything like it just lined up. It was like crazy. So we flew out Sunday morning, I think, and she was born Sunday night. Because it was COVID then, because she was born August, and that like for sure was COVID. It was like so weird because like every state had a different restriction, and it was crazy. They thought that we were from Texas, and we weren't. Like we're from Minnesota. So we actually had to sign papers to be her parents before we could physically meet her.
Oh, because
that
of
was
COVID?
really weird.
Yeah.
So we met her birth mom and her whole biological family before we ever met our daughter.
Crazy.
So yeah, we signed all the papers. The really like super crazy thing, we sat down to dinner with her mom, and we were talking about names. So we had Layla picked out before Deacon was born. Like that's like always been our girl name.
Girl.
Oh, cool.
And we sat down and we're like, we had went on a walk, Brian and I, earlier. I'm like, well, maybe we could ask like if she wants to honor like any middle names or you know, could she pick out something, whatever. And we asked her, and she's like, well, I named her Layla. We're like, what?
So it was too late to ask.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so we both picked up the same name.
So did we.
So that's her name. We used her birth mom's middle name, which is Moon.
Cool.
So her name is Layla Moon, which is so pretty.
I love that. Cute.
Yeah. So yeah, that was like our adoption journey, and that was like the most connected that Brian and I have ever been, because it was like we're on the same team, we were fighting for this. It was really, really, really hard. There's something called ICPC, which is basically when you adopt out of a different state, you have to go through all these legal things, and it's a really long process. And she was in the NICU.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So we had to like be in Pennsylvania for a really long time, but we had our 2 boys at home.
Yeah.
And so he was going to go home, and then I was going to stay with the baby. But then because she was in the NICU, like in an incubator, like I could hardly even hold her. She just had to grow and like be healthy. So then we both went home, because I'm like, I can't even do anything.
Yeah.
And that felt awful.
Yes.
So it was a lot of really hard stuff, I think, in particular because of COVID.
Yeah.
And just the
And
back
how
and forth.
did you fly back with the baby that doesn't look like
that was
you?
a whole nother story. Well, not even the look, but I have, so I was on the board for the Down Syndrome Association in Minnesota for a really long time. And one of our board members is a NICU nurse, or a NICU doctor. And she advised not flying with Layla because of the lung capacity when you're early.
Elevation.
Okay.
So I was like, oh my gosh. But then I was like, we can't drive home with her. That's going to take 3 days and stopping every 2 hours to feed her.
Yeah.
And it was just like an impossible situation. So we went to CHOP, the Children's Hospital of Pennsylvania, a huge hospital out there.
Oh, wow.
And they
give
put
you a
her,
helicopter?
they put her in this incubator that simulates the pressure of the cabin.
Oh, to like get her used to it?
To test if her lungs could handle it. And she could.
Oh,
So
then you were like,
same day that we had the flight, she had this test. They said yes, and we like rushed to the airport and brought her home.
Gosh.
That
It was
is
insane.
amazing.
It was insane.
It's like things you've never heard.
Yes.
Yeah.
But again, another crazy thing with just COVID was I had her in the wrap,
Yes.
because I'm like, the germs on the airplane. And
Yeah.
she was
You
like
don't
3
want-
weeks old at this point.
Yeah.
I had to take her out and hold her on my lap because of like the restrictions of I know. I was like, you guys, this is so dumb.
That doesn't even make any sense. You're like, to have her
I
close
had
to
to
me.
wake her up.
Yeah.
But yeah, the flight, I mean, I actually was really worried about that, because I'm like, we had no papers that like
Are they
actually
gonna
proved
say
that
anything?
she was
Yeah.
ours. She doesn't look like us.
Yeah.
I was like, so
Because we don't have like a
worried.
birth certificate yet.
Yes,
Or like anything.
nothing. We like printed out as many hospital records
Yeah.
as we can. We took paper copies of like the adoption decree and whatever. But that was like, are they going to think we're stealing her?
Yeah.
Like that was definitely a thought
From a
that went
different
through.
state and during
our minds.
COVID when people were
Everyone
so
was
edgy.
on
Yeah.
it.
Yes, yeah.
That is
And what was it like when your boys met her for the first time?
So sweet. Oh my gosh, so sweet. We got home. It was like super late, evening flight, and my parents were there, and they just like surrounded her little car seat. I had like so many cute videos and pictures, and oh gosh, they just like Deacon did like skin to skin with her. I'm like, buddy.
Oh my gosh,
Just a little dad. It was
Yeah.
it was so sweet. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so awesome.
Yeah, I
And
loved her.
Does she still have a relationship, or do you guys still have a relationship with her birth mom?
Yeah. That was one thing we really, really, really wanted, was an open adoption.
Yep.
And we're just like super thankful that her birth mom actually wanted that also, because honestly, it's harder on her. Like it's
sure.
it's
Yeah.
work for us, but it's like way more work and emotional work for her. Absolutely. So her birth mom actually just had another baby in October.
Okay.
Was living in Pennsylvania. and actually came and moved here to Minnesota into a home. It's called Esther Homes, and they do maternity care for moms that are trying to figure out raising a kid by themselves. So she's living here. I was actually at the birth of Layla's sister, which was like the coolest thing in the world.
That's amazing.
Also, I'm definitely not a nurse. Like I've used that button so many times. You're like, get in here. Not for me. With Kristen, I'm like, you can do that all the time. No. It was like a super, super special kind of redeeming moment because I really wanted to be there for the birth of Layla. And so this was like a really cool thing. She asked me to cut the cord. I was like, what? Really me? Like it was super special.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Her birth mom definitely feels like an extension of our family for sure. And now Layla's little sister, and Layla like absolutely adores her. Her sister was only like 3 pounds when she was born, and she could fit in her doll carrier. So she would put her in the carrier like a little mama, just the cutest thing in the world. So we see her about once a week. We usually take her overnight once a week, which is gives mom like a respite, gives us time with the baby, and Layla, her sister, that bonding. And
that's amazing.
Like the coolest, most special, like God thing. I don't think anyone could have written that. No. And the fact that we're both open to it is just like,
and like having that relationship and just like, and you can be open and honest about it. And I think that is so hard because I know that it's a challenge. And I have like good friends who they have 4 siblings and then they adopted, and like just that dynamic, and they don't have a relationship, and just like the questions are difficult. And it's like, how do you, and it's always been that they've really tried to just integrate her in the family. But I think like pretending that it is just like you're just part of it, like I think being honest and like having that really open communication is so cool.
We've always talked about it. Like we have a ton of books. And I've like showed her pictures of like the boys in my belly, and then her in her birth mom's belly. It's like
you like have those pictures.
So awesome. Just to say like, I'm your mom. She's also your mom. Like I think a lot of people are maybe like threatened by that word, and it's like no, she's your mom. Like I can't take that away from her. Exactly. The reality. And just sharing that role and being totally open with like whatever information that we have. And the reality is like she loved her so much that she wanted like, I can't with our family. And like that's the reason you're with us. And we love you so much.
And she chose you guys.
Absolutely.
So that's wonderful. And do you think she'll stay in Minnesota?
I don't know.
That would be amazing.
We'll see what happens.
It's just so important. I think I used to work with somebody who was adopted, and like all the strings were not attached. And then eventually she ended up looking this woman up on Facebook. And that was, her mom, and reaching out and saying like, hey, could I just get a coffee with you? And then I was kind of having negative feelings about that because I thought, oh, what if your parents are heartbroken? And, she was in her early 30s when this happened. And then she met this mom for coffee, and this mom already had another baby, like, 10 years later. And I think what I learned from that, she came back and she said, now I know why I look like I look and my mannerisms. And I just saw all these things, and like, it's clear to me where I'm from. That doesn't take away from who raised me and who chose me. But this is just good to know that this mom of mine is from, east of the cities. And I just know she's alive. And it just was such a, because being not adopted, it's hard to relate and understand the side of things where people are coming from. But it's amazing that, Layla won't actually have to be doing that. This is all going to be natural, and you're kind of growing up with everybody present.
To ask her mom the questions that I don't have answers to.
Or like even like I always think about like genetics and like testing for like even certain things. Like, oh, this runs in my family.
We've asked about stuff like that too. Because we're like, oh, does she have maybe this? And so it's like healthy, to be able to have that open conversation.
That is. And how do the boys like, do they talk about it, like, and what is that dynamic like?
I mean, there's no hiding it. Layla is black, you're all white. So I think it just goes along with like all of us, like, because Gunnar has Down syndrome, so he's a little bit different. My oldest has ADHD, and so like we're all just like so open and honest with like talking about like we're all different and we're all unique, and this is exactly how we're made, and this is exactly where we're supposed to be, and there's a reason for all of this. And it is a little funny to like hear exactly how like the boys will say something. or even about like Deacon in particular, just about like either Gunnar or Layla. And I'm just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So,
That's one way to say it.
in an 11-year-old brain, that makes sense. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love that. And just like giving them that ability to like talk about it openly.
For sure. Just kind of like
Yeah.
learning. How long did it take you to learn how to do her hair?
Oh my goodness. Still learning. She's 5.5. She'll be 6 in August.
Did you have to buy some books? I have some friends who adopted a little
So-
girl and they are like reading all this books.
Yeah. I actually asked Black women because I was like, well, go to the source.
Yeah.
And there's a few people in our church that have adopted kids that are Black. And so I started asking them because we don't have like, close friends that are Black ourselves. So I didn't have like firsthand people to ask. So I just started asking. There was a woman at church who is Black who I asked, and she was like open to sharing some product details and stuff. So really, it was like first the products. Then I think she first got her hair braided at like 18 months. Her hair's super long actually.
Okay.
When it's like straight, I mean that's honestly probably like longer than mine. It's crazy.
When it's straight.
It's super long, yeah. So it's been like a huge journey over the last couple of years and then now I've been like having it just down and curly and it's gorgeous.
So cute. Oh yeah.
But it probably takes either way to fully like wash and condition and whatever and put it in braids. Like the full probably takes like 4 to 6 hours.
Okay.
And then to have it down is probably like 3 to 4 hours. So
Do you have her sleep in on like a silky pillowcase or? Okay.
yeah, my mother-in-law actually bought her. It's called a Blissy.
Oh,
I know. Apparently, they're really.
Yeah,
She got them for Christmas, I think 2 years ago, and my aunt was like, "You got her a Blissy?" And I was like, "I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
It's like a $75
Yes,
pillowcase."
I get ads for it all the time. They're like, you need this. And I'm like, I probably do. But like,
I know.
yeah.
$75. My pillow.
To me,
costs
that
less
seems
than
crazy, but like, it actually isn't. Like,
Yeah.
you use it every single night.
Yes. It is really nice. You have to hand
Long-term
wash it, hang dry.
Yeah. That's where it really lasts.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
That is pretty
Her hair
amazing.
is gorgeous, and that's the thing. Like, I want her to love her hair. I don't want her to have to think that she has to put it in braids.
Yeah.
So I want to be able to know how to do it both. I want to be able to know how to do the braids. I want to be able to know how to
help her
down.
feel excited
She
about
gets
it.
to choose. And it's called tender-headed. She's like really, it's sore when you like do the braids or even just brushing it. It's a lot of work. So I eventually want her to be able to learn how to do her own hair and have that agency over it.
Yeah. And like to try things and do that. How do you feel like just in general, like helping her understand like her culture and like where she's from and just like kind of that dynamic? Especially maybe it is nice having her mom here or like, what do you do for that?
Yeah. I mean, I think unless you're like born in Africa, right? Like her parents, grandparents, whatever, they're all like from the United States.
Yeah.
So like culture wise, I think, I don't know, Pennsylvania, Minnesota, I don't know. There's not
Kind of like different.
They definitely live in the city and we're more like urban. So there's a huge difference like as far as that goes. But again, it just kind of goes back to like, we're all unique. We're all different. Like, competency and character over color of skin is like just such a important thing. And same with Gunnar, it's like, just because he has Down syndrome doesn't give him an excuse to do X, Y, Z. Just because that,
That's a very good.
and so like we just go back to like, strong character, morals, values. That's
Amazing.
important. It's not what you look like, your diagnosis, the color of your skin, anything like that.
That's super cool. And I feel like that's a really good thing to like teach kids, especially now when there is so much out there.
There's
Like
so
so
much
much
polarization, especially since COVID.
Yes.
And especially Minnesota.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
just
It's
been
like
a lot that we've been,
Yeah.
I think it's cool to just like to show life, like how it can be lived and just like, hey, we're all like you said, what did you say? This is when you got your diagnosis of Down syndrome.
Oh, unexpected.
Like, I feel like that's just like such a good way to think about it. Like, it's not bad.
Yep.
And I feel like that's something I need to tell myself a little bit more. Cause you like say like what your ideal scenario is. And I think just like getting away from that is.
Well, and social media idealizes so much that it's like, I deleted all social media too, like a few months ago. I was like, I'm done with this.
Good for you.
I've dabbled a little bit back and forth, mostly because of Marketplace, but
There's certain things you're like, okay, well, actually that is nice.
I really want
like
that.
connecting.
A huge thrifter. I love thrifting. So
That's
I love that. What's a good thrift buy that what's one of your favorite things that you've gotten off Marketplace? Or
yeah.
yeah, or like Poshmark. I got like a Mongolian cashmere sweater that I just like. It's like a open cardigan. I wear it like multiple times a week because it's like breathable, but that, you know, so you can like wear it all season long. Yeah.
That's cool.
Or Turnstile in Roseville. Have you guys
Okay, yeah.
Because they have a little bit more like high-end stuff.
Yes.
So you get furniture, you can get clothing, everything. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to get into that for like kids stuff because I'm like finding how many like different car seats and like I did like the Rebel Stork. It's like a open box or something like it's just like discounted stuff because we're taking a trip and I'm like, I need a different stroller setup because I don't like the ones that I currently have. Like, this is crazy. And it's like, I feel like there has to be a better system where it's like, you only use this stuff for a year. Isn't there like a way to kind of like rent it or whatever? I know it's like tough and like the logistics of that all sound crazy, or like a toy exchange or something like that. And I know that there's like little versions of it, but I'm like, that's my next idea. Because I'm like, it feels like we go through and I'm like, I'm buying another
hundreds of dollars,
$300 car seat, like again, and then you have two cars.
Yes, double.
Crazy.
I know.
So I
I don't use that.
the marketplace. I need to get better about doing that for like strollers and just like bigger gear items that are like temporary.
Yep.
Oh, for sure, because everything with kids is temporary. Yeah, I just feel like
You're like, oh, I guess I didn't realize you used an infant car seat for only a year.
Mm-hmm.
That was like my biggest shock.
Yeah.
that is just not
Especially
ideal.
with a big kid, you're lugging around.
I have the Duna, and I'm like, this Duna is
so
amazing.
nice.
It's life changing.
Yes.
But now he's 25 pounds, and that stroller is 13. So I'm like getting that into our car. I'm like,
He's 25 pounds and he's 9 months.
Yeah,
Because
he's
25
like
pounds might not
this
sound
long.
bad.
And I'm like, oh my God. And so, I think I'm actually going to switch it. I got one of those, like the really light ones for our trip that pops into the stroller. So I'm like, I think I got to do this because then it's a double stroller.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I'm like, that thing, it's amazing, but clunky.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's my workout right now.
Okay, tell us about how did you decide on homeschooling? And when you commit to homeschool, how long, like, could you opt out of it? Could you change your mind? Does the public school or private school will take you? Or is this something like if you commit, then you're just staying in your lane and you're doing it?
I feel like I'm like talking about COVID a lot, but it's apparently like a lot of stuff happened really with my kids' ages. Okay, we had just adopted Layla in August. Deacon was going to kindergarten and then all the schools shut down. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't have this newborn and then try to like fully online school this kid and then have another one in preschool and try to figure out reading with him and whatever. And so I have a very generous aunt, Auntie Gail. She'll probably watch this. She goes by Auntie Frog. Cute. But she was like, you know what? I'm going to pay for him to go to kindergarten at a private school that's open. And so you can just do life. So he went to a private school, just 5 full days. It was in White Bear. And we had a really good experience with it. And we're like, we kind of like this private school scenario over public school. Yeah. And so I went into that particular one that like spring and was like, hey, I'd really love Gunnar to come here too. What could that look like? I know it's going to look a little bit different, but what could that look like? And I was kind of met with a lot of like, well, what about this? And what about this? And what about this? It was like apprehension. Interesting. And I'm like, this doesn't feel good. Yeah. It doesn't feel like he's wanted. And I want him to be wanted and a part of belonging and community.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I was like, this isn't the place for us. So Deacon finished out kindergarten that year. And then I was like, okay, what are we doing for next year? Yeah. And I was like, okay, maybe I should fully homeschool. Maybe there was like a co-op not that far from us that I was considering. And then someone brought up where we're at now, hand in hand. And they have what's a homeschool academy, they call it. So they go to school 3 days a week and then they're home 2 days a week. And it's kind of like a shared subjects. Like they do certain subjects and we do certain subjects. And I was like, I would like to try this out. So Deacon went there for first grade. The other 2 were still home. And he did the homeschool program and it was great. Just like everything lined up with our values, our morals, our faith, everything. And I was like, I want to do this. Yeah. So I had that exact same conversation with this school a year later. And it was like, how can we do this? Yes. It was just like, it was like a 180 conversation of like, we want him here. How can we partner with you? And it just felt so good. So he went for kindergarten the next year and they're all 3 there now.
So you said 3 days in the school and then 2 days home? Yep.
And they're all kind of in a different, they have a 5-day program too. So my oldest is actually in the 5-day program now, but it's Montessori. So it's mixed age classrooms. So it's preschool and kindergarten are together.
I did not even know those existed.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing.
1st, 2nd, and 3rd grades all together, 4th, 5th, 6th grade together. And then the high school, they have a middle school and high school. And it's all in the same building. So like one drop off, one pickup.
Wow.
It's like
That's how I
super
grew up.
nice.
School is in the same
Yes,
building.
yeah.
That's
on
amazing.
Different floors and different ages.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
So-
that's cool. I feel like Gigi would like it because I feel
Yeah.
like she likes older
Yeah.
kids.
Yes. Well, and that's the super cool thing is it's giving those kids that leadership skills
Yeah.
too of like, oh, I have a younger friend here that needs help with this and I know how to do this. I can teach them that. It's not all on the teacher.
Yeah. And then it's
Amazing.
when they're seeing older kids, like, oh, it probably helps them learn skills quicker.
Yeah.
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 They're just like immersed in it.
Yeah.
That
We
is
love it.
amazing.
Yeah. So we've been there for 5 years and we're hoping that they just stay all the way through high school there. And
That is
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Well, it feels good because I feel like finding the right childcare and school is like
It's a
one
lot.
of the biggest stresses. You never feel like you're doing it quite right.
Well, and that's Deacon had gone to, 2 different preschools and then 2 different, by the time he got to where we're at, he had gone to 4 schools and I felt awful.
Like, oh, you
Yeah. So then once we found it, I was like, okay, this is it. Like, we love this.
and does it operate on a normal school
hours?
calendar?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, nice. I love that.
Yeah. The homeschool, you get like more breaks. You get like 4 weeks off for Christmas instead of 2 weeks.
Okay.
Like, there's more breaks that go into
Yeah.
it. But yeah, it's
Hand in hand, you said. Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that.
That's so amazing. So you were a kids care coordinator at Eaglebrook for a while?
Yeah.
For like a couple of years?
a couple years. Yeah.
What was your age group and what do you think?
Yeah.
Like, did that equip you to homeschool now or were you
So-
always able to do that?
Yeah, my role in the kids care coordinator was actually matching families of kids with disabilities to support at church.
Cool.
So I got to work from birth through high school. So I was there on the weekends and then Wednesday nights. And so, any kid that needed support to be successful in the programming, I got to give them like a buddy or a one-on-one. And then they came alongside them. So I would work with the family on like, well, what does support look like for your kid? You know, do they need fidgets? Do they need a sensory break? Do they need, like for Gunner, it's like, he just needs someone to make sure he's not running away.
Yeah.
And then they, the volunteers then come alongside that child and provide the support. And so, it was actually really sad when I had to leave that, but they put all of their part-time positions to full-time just as an organizational change. And so
So
I
you
just
just
couldn't really work full-time with
continue.
homeschooling. And so, I've been done with that. I think it's been 2 years now.
For you to match people, you had to know people on staff very well, right?
Well, it's
how
all
did that work?
volunteers.
Okay.
Yeah, volunteers that came in and wanted to provide support for kids with disabilities.
That is
So I got to meet the families and do like an intake of their child and get to know their child really well.
okay. Oh,
And
wow.
then find a volunteer that would be a good match for them.
That's cool.
That's cool. I did not know. I feel like, obviously Eaglebrook is massive and large enough to provide services like that, but I didn't even
A lot
know.
of churches do it.
Really?
So my boss, who was in charge of all the kids care coordinators, did the same thing. She left when they went to full-time positions too, because she was part-time. She has a son with disabilities also. And she now works for Johnny and Friends, it's called. And they provide free services for churches to figure out what disability looks like in their church and how to provide these services. So
That's really cool.
yeah, so any church can reach out to Johnny and Friends and get those services. Yeah, that's cool.
That's amazing. You are a gardener.
I have a like light green thumb.
I want to know, do you guys live on a lot of land?
No,
Did you grow up on a lot of land? Or where does this desire skill
I grew up
come
on
from?
10 acres.
Okay.
So I definitely grew up on, a field. My parents, like, we did pumpkins and watermelons and like
Oh, amazing.
corn, sunflowers, like
Oh,
a bunch
cool.
of really fun things like in our garden. So I loved doing that as a kid. We have like not even a half an acre, but our lot is like, we have a creek on one side and then like wood. So it seems bigger than it is.
Yes.
So we love our yard. Summer is like, I'm just outside all the time. I only have 2 raised beds and tomatoes like grow like wildfire. So I always plant those. I tried
I don't know if they
strawberries.
grow like that for everyone, but
Oh, for my
everyone
soil,
tried.
I don't know.
you do strawberries too?
I tried strawberries last year, but I got nothing. But I kept like every time they like sprout something, I just like dip it back in. So I don't know. I have a whole bed of strawberries now. Hopefully they come up.
Oh, cool.
I had baby bunnies make a nest in my strawberries. So I don't know what's going to happen with that this year, but
My great grandma had strawberries, and Ukraine is similar climate, but our winters are not as rough.
Mm.
So if you don't have enough sun and end of May and early June, your strawberries are either tart or wrong color, or they're not even
I
there.
got like 2 strawberries all last
I
year.
feel like they are not that easy.
And there's like such a small amount of time that they're
that they actually like could and they are like really impacted by it. So way to go even trying. I feel like that just like that knowledge scares me to even go there.
I just like plant things and I'm like, please grow, and if you don't, okay. That's what it is.
It's probably a fun thing to like do something outside and like
And the
get
kids,
the kids
to, like,
outside.
pop something off and eat it right there. It's like, that's cool.
Oh, for sure. So we've been asking all the guests if there is an item that you maybe purchased or received for Christmas this year that's like under $100 that you love and would recommend.
Yeah. I know. I was like thinking about that because I thrift so much. Like everything I buy is under $100.
Maybe it was like
maybe
one day it was $100,
yes,
but now it's not.
Yeah. I've been getting into like organic fabrics, natural like textiles, like your linens, your cottons, and whatever. So anything from Quince, like these jeans are their $50 jeans and they're organic cotton, like they're great.
Sweet.
Yeah, I would say their stuff.
That's okay. Oh, that's awesome.
What's something that you wish that your husband knew?
I think that like under all of the like frustration is probably more like fears. I think a lot of women, right? Like we're like, oh, well, you didn't do this and you didn't do that and whatever. But it's like we're actually like longing to be more vulnerable, but it's hard.
Oh, I love that. And you probably had to have a lot of independence. So you're probably used.
So I don't want to.
Yeah. So you're probably. That totally makes sense. Like sometimes it's just fear. It's a good one.
Yeah. No, that's. Yeah. I'm trying to think of my last question, but I can't think of it right away for some reason. What does your life, what does this season look for you right now? Because we are kind of behind you. Our kids are younger. And we're a little more like, oh, didn't sleep well again last night. That's kind of like more of our problem versus like you are navigating school.
Yeah.
And different types of kids. Well, we are all different types of kids. Yeah. But just how would you describe it?
Yeah. What? I don't know. That's a great question. I think every summer is like, okay, what are we going to do? And I've planned out probably the last 3. And this summer we're like, I don't know. Let's just figure it out. Like last summer we did a really big road trip down to the Ark. It's like the man-made Noah's Ark.
Yeah. Oh,
super cool. It was super fun. Definitely recommend it. It was very hot, but really fun. This summer we have like nothing planned, like one family camp, and that's like it. Otherwise, I think we're just gonna kind of enjoy the summer, be outside, get wet. And
Minnesota summers are so great. They are like you don't have to even pack a lot of. Like it gets busy no matter what. But I feel like the ability just to enjoy it.
Yeah, and like I can be their ages like 5, 9, 11. You know, we can like kind of just hang out outside and they can get their own snacks.
Yeah, and you're not like bringing a whole bag and like having everything everywhere you go.
Yeah,
so that sounds nice. We'll get there.
Yes.
What did you stop apologizing for? That was my question that I was thinking. Is there something that you kind of grown to?
I think that like being vulnerable, like I'm okay saying like I feel this instead of just like, you know, people will say, how are you? Oh, fine.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to say that if I'm not fine. So I'm just going to say like, if you're actually asking me and you want to know, I can tell you and we can share. And I can also just say like, not great today, but I'll be okay, you know? And so, that's just my feelings.
Oh, sweet. I appreciate you. Sound like a grown up. I love that.
Grown up. Yeah, love that.
Good for you. Working on that.
Still getting there, but sweet. Thank you for being with us. This was so, I mean, I feel like I know you, but I just feel like I've learned a lot of great and like deep things about you and like the beautiful person you became through fun and sometimes not super fun life experiences that maybe you always like look back at your life and you think, oh, I wouldn't have chosen that for me, but this was so helpful to go through it or do it or and just I feel like you're so empowering to like even our friend group. Like sometimes you're sharing things I'm like, oh, I need to think of that because that's coming up for me or like that's just a gift of wisdom that you have. Thank you for it.
Thank you.
See you next week.